Big news! Big news! Woodcut has been inherited, and I now have a Burgrave! It's this guy. It's Donakulda. There he is! Ha ha! And I'm getting 10% of his state power and 10% of his taxes. Wait. Oh yeah, he's paying me 8 and giving me 8 state power. So, hooray! Also, I cleared these barbarians just because they were annoying me. I used some of my spears to do that. And I will next clear these Porcoderthals, as they are called. Anyway, I finished researching everything. I have nothing to do. So I guess I'll just wait. There are secret triggers for getting more ideas, but I don't know what they are. So I don't really know what I'm missing. Probably I need to have my citizens doing something in particular, and that would make me able to get bronze working or something. I don't know. In any case, because I don't know, I don't have any reason to be annoyed that I'm not getting ideas. Anyway, I got taxation, which does nothing by itself, and I got level 2 tanneries. That's exciting. Anyway, I have my vassal here. I will show you him in a moment. I also have very low money because I just spent a lot of money and axes building houses in Solburg. So Solburg now is having a bit of a growth spurt because the quality of life has increased quite a lot. Average quality of life is 19, and I need quality of life of 30. And giving more, I think every kind of food only gives an extra 1 quality of life. Yes. So that's not a huge bonus. Oh well. I could also try distributing silver. Interesting idea. But in any case, I'll show you woodcut first. And yes, I'll sit through loading screens because when I made the last video, I had to go through an hour of footage and I had to splice all the bits where I'd stopped recording and started recording, and I just can't be asked. That's far too much work. I'm busy writing my master's thesis, which I still haven't touched since that Crusader Kings 2 expansion. Anyway, this is woodcut. It was just inherited about an hour ago, I think. So the guy hasn't had much time to do a lot with it. But as you can see, he used the very few axes that he had to build houses. Bad idea. Should save those. They're kind of rare, but whatever. Okay, that's what you want to do. Anyway, he's on his own now. He has apples and carrots and fish, and quite a lot of all of that. And he also built a farm here so that he could have apple fields out here, even though there's actually already a farm here that I constructed and just forgot about. Oh well, whatever. In any case, he has plenty to do. He'll be busy. I'm sure he'll build roads and walls and do various interesting, cool, fun things with his stable population. But in any case, that's not what I want to show you. We don't care about woodcut right now. Woodcut still has a lot of work that needs to be done. We care about the almighty Solburg, the greatest city in the world. Well, it's not the greatest city in the world, but it's a pretty good one. It's definitely in the top 10, or 20, maybe. Oh yes, I also did some more exploring in the south. There's nothing to see there. I won't even bother showing you that because it's just desert. Also, my explorer died due to an event, so I can't show it to you anyway. I did, however, get some trade agreements with the people in the south who continue to promise me that they're still playing the game. No, for real, they haven't abandoned their games, even though they definitely have abandoned their games. But whatever. So long as they're around, I'll keep pestering them, trying to get them to give me ideas. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. In any case, I also devised a fantastic way of boosting my economy. So a large source of my income is taxes. Wrong screen. Here, tax incomes plus 57. The problem is, when I get maximum resources, and maximum for me is 200 because I only have limited inventory space, I just stop producing those resources. But then if I stop producing the resources, I stop taxing the people who make the resources. So I had this great idea. I discovered that I can, if the game ever finishes loading, simply click on a warehouse, click on some resource, click destroy some, poof, they're gone. So if ever I have too many resources, I can just destroy them. And that way I can keep my income high. My people use resources to make more resources, which I then just dump in the ocean. Oh yes, that's right. I also built some level 2 tanners there. And I have more foundries working. And I built more houses. That was the building spree. These are the level 3 houses, I believe. Level 3, yes. So these used to be the only level 3 houses, but then I expanded them up to here. And I eventually want to make all of these houses level 3, but as you can see, that will take quite a long time and quite a lot of resources. And I will definitely not make them level 4 houses because I cannot be asked. I also don't know if I'll ever use this area here for building. I'm not using it for anything else. I don't need my farms to expand, but maybe I will once I get transaction tracking and I can finally build scribes. In any case, I'll have to wait on that. I wonder if I set my maximum to 30. If that would throttle production, well, I need to set it to 90. That would help throttle production enough to, or throttle distribution enough that I would no longer be losing silver. Yes, now only 1.1, yes, excellent, okay, good. So now, some of the silver is being kept for me to increase my stocks, so only 1.1 of it is being distributed. Fantastic, that's great, that's so good. That it didn't massively. That increased my income, but also allows my silver to keep increasing too. Everybody wins when everybody is me. Great, fantastic. I'm glad you helped me figure that out. See you next time. Well, where am I? What is this? Pharos? That's not a place I made. We are in the second city of my Burgrave. He just founded it a little while ago, and you can see it's under construction right now. Some houses there, and the stockpiles there, and I don't know what that is, but that's being built too. It's all very exciting. I just delivered some spears to this place so that he could build some fishers. Anyway, Pharos, this tile, I guess it's called Pharos now, is an excellent farming tile. Also has plenty of wood. It's just a bit far from Solburg. But I also noticed that I've given myself the north, but the north kind of sucks for farming. And so if I ever run out of farmland in Solburg, I'll actually need to go down here to one of these tiles, which are flat. Have oceanic there. They're very good. But I'm waiting for him to build a settlement here. There's a lot of copper here, and he wants to make a big trading network, so that'll be exciting. Send my guy back. And these mountains have all the resources that we need. Iron, tin, copper, coal. And these mountains also have all the resources that we need. So he'll use the southern mountains, I'll use the northern mountains, and together we'll do stuff. I don't really have a plan, but I'm sure it will be exciting. I've also renamed all of my stuff to have more German-sounding names because I made the titulature, is that a word, of my kingdom Germanic. So I have Burgraves and Margraves, and also I called myself a Congrave. I thought You know, if the guy at the bottom is the Burgrave and the next guy's the Margrave, then the guy at the top obviously has to be the Congrave, right? So that's what I am. And now this is the Congraviate of Solburg, not the kingdom. Congraviate. That's a bit exciting, right? It's different. It also matches Congraviate, Margraviate, Burgraviate. Anyway, I should probably make him a Margrave, not a Burgrave, but I haven't really decided what the rules for that are. There probably won't be any. Anyway, I'm also researching some stuff. It's almost done. Well, rather, the research bars have almost filled all the way. Let's put it that way. I have olive oil and wine being researched, although for some reason olive oil is much more difficult than wine. I don't know why. There's also sledge being researched. However, sledge probably will not succeed. It also requires 160 coins to start, so this will probably suck a lot of my money away. Or maybe it'll succeed on the first attempt. I don't know. In any case, I'll probably get wine. I'll probably have to do this a couple times. The wine and olive oil ones don't require any money at all to start, so I can just keep doing them over and over. I do have paid researchers on, which is sucking most of my money. But that's fine. Doesn't matter. What else? I talked about Germanic names. Gelbkranz, Kupferhügel, Tongrube. Oh yes, I also decided Silberkamm does not need all those people that it had previously, so I'm just letting them die. See, it has so many unemployed people. I don't need this many people here. And I'm instead producing large amounts of fish here, and I'm exporting all those fish to Solburg. Solburg now has too many fish, and that's fine. That's great. That'll increase Solburg's population, because I've decided I will now try to increase the population. I don't think I'll reach 1,920, but the population's going up quite nicely. It's already at 1,112. Life quality is at 22. I need life quality of 30. I'm not really certain how I can get it to 30, though. I'd probably need to supply more luxury goods, build better houses, and I can't do that yet, so won't worry about it. What else? Producing too much pottery. I'm not sure why it's not selling. I'm supplying 21. Oh wait, I could supply 7 more pottery. I could also supply more cider. I should do that. Anyway, that was a loud clap. Okay, so after much loading and many false starts of this section because the game would not finish loading, it finally has finished loading, mostly. Anyway, as you can see, I've built many more houses. I plan to replace all of these with level 2 houses, which is probably why life quality has increased so much. I also plan to house the rest of these people, so I need lots of axes, and that's what I'm producing now. Only producing 1.2 per cycle, though that's fine. And here is Woodcut, the capital of my Burgrave. I told him not to use his axes to build pointless buildings, and so what did he do? He built architects, and he built some level 2 houses. I told him we don't have many axes, conserve your axes, use them for other things, but no. Anyway, I think he's copying me in building all of his houses closely packed to each other on the coast, where there's all the gravel and no other useful resources, in order to conserve space. That's a good plan, I think. Anyway, he hasn't really done much with the place. He's made some sheep farms, and I think it's about the same as last time I showed you. I think he's mostly been saving his resources to build that other colony, Pharos. Anyway, I've also been thinking that I will abandon Gelbkranz, because what does Gelbkranz do? Gelbkranz produces a tiny amount of gold ore, and that's it. That is all this place does. And Gelbkranz is costing me administrative power just for that tiny amount of gold. Do I really want to pay 25 administrative power for plus 0.1 gold per cycle? That's 10 cycles for 1 gold, so it's basically 1.5 gold per day. Is gold really worth all that much? Currently, silver is actually worth more than gold, because I can produce reasonable amounts of silver. So I'm thinking the gold actually maybe is something I should just not bother getting. I want to settle this tile instead. This tile has more copper, and I need copper quite severely because I need to make axes. I need copper to make copper ore to make copper bars. So just realized I have some here. So I'll probably abandon Gelbkranz. Oh well, anyway, nothing else has happened on this continent, so I'll be back at some point, I don't know. Well, I have some news. Something happened. The Tsardom of Bukovina got another victory point, and it was the one for life quality, average life quality of 30. So they beat me there. And the next victory condition is in gold we trust. I have to have 39 gold. And you might think, oh, well, you have that gold source, so surely you'll win, right? Yeah, about that. I don't have that gold source anymore because I wanted to get bronze working, and to get bronze working, I need tin. And there's a lot of tin here. In Sinfeld, actually, there's a bit too much tin. I'm doing a bit well on tin. Don't have as much copper. And that means I won't be able to get that victory condition until I resettle this tile. However, I was getting 0.1 gold per cycle. And I need 39 gold. I have 38. We'll just say I have 8. Let's just say I need 30 more. If I need, well, let's use a calculator actually. If I need 30 more gold and I get 0.1 per cycle, that means 300 cycles multiplied by 90 minutes per cycle. 27,000 minutes divided by 60 minutes is 450 hours divided by 24 hours is 18.75 days. So we'll round up and call that 19 days. 19 days I would need to get that much gold from the 0.1 gold per cycle. And that just really seems unreasonable. I don't think I'll manage that. I don't want to manage that either because this tile is terrible. Other than the gold, there's nothing there. I think there's fish actually. But anyway, there's no reason for me to settle this tile except for the gold. But is the gold really worthwhile? I mean, I guess. Then again, if nobody else has any gold, I'm guaranteed to get it eventually. So I don't know. I also don't want to spend a lot of time mining that gold just for the Tsardom of Bukovina to get the victory mission completed before I complete it. Because then I would have wasted a lot of money and time mining this gold that I'll never use. I mean, at least with the silver, I make money because I can sell 0.4 silver to the population and get a fair amount of money from that. So I think I'll just forget the gold thing. And really, I should probably just forget victory conditions in general. Really, I have 11 victory points. Will I ever get 52? No. Please. When you get them 5 at a time, no. That won't happen. So the Tsardom of English. The Tsardom of Bukovina will definitely win. They will, without a doubt, dominate this game. But that doesn't mean I can't have fun in the meantime. In case you're wondering, the Tsardom of Bukovina is over here, across the ocean. Anyway, there's something else I wanted to mention. Oh yes, right, I'm getting bronze working. There it is, bronze working, which unlocks many, many things. I received it as a very kind gift from Shock down here. Thank you, Shock. Also, my Vassal has been doing not very much, but oh well, he claims he's about to expand into this copper mine. Whatever. He claims he'll send me the copper as well. So this is Sinfeld. It doesn't produce any of its own food. I'm importing meat from Solburg because Solburg produces too much meat. Actually, they don't. They require 17. I'm supplying 16. So I had so much meat in Solburg that I could just export, and so that's what I'm doing. However, that's increasing the population by a bit too much, but that's okay because I plan to switch them off of meat once I have enough potatoes here in Tongrube to make a potato farm, but I'll need 50 potatoes for that. And that'll take a while. I guess I can also just distribute less meat in Sinfeld, whatever. I'm thinking of making Silberkamm a colony because it is so distant. It certainly has the population for it. However, the problem is that I am importing silver, fish, and leather from Silberkamm. So if that became a colony, I would lose that. Or would I? I still think I haven't lost that import of fish. Yeah, I'm still importing fish from Woodcut. Even though it hasn't belonged to me for quite some time. I don't really quite understand how that works. I don't know, can he stop that export? Is it just sort of stuck there? And I don't know. In any case, I'm mostly just waiting now. I'm producing many resources, most of which I don't need. I have just periodically deleted my resources from my stockpiles to make sure my economy keeps going. But now we wait for bronze working, which hopefully will succeed in the first try because it's quite expensive. Also have to try this again. And this failed for the 4th or 5th time too. Oh well. Anyway, I'll be back once something has happened, I guess. Hey! Big news! So, I was offline for about 20 hours doing real life stuff, and I got bronze working, which is just amazing. I also failed olive oil and sledge again. I'm also researching furniture making now as well. So hopefully these two things won't fail again. But bronze working is huge. Bronze working, as you can see, unlocks many things. And we're now in the Bronze Age too, and you can see I'm producing shovels and axes at these tool makers, and they use bronze instead of copper. And bronze is more efficient than copper. But bronze is made, of course, from bronze and tin, and I have loads of tin, not so much copper. But because these two things, shovels and axes, are state resources, that means that I am paying the blacksmiths enough money for them to buy the bronze, which means that the people that make the bronze, which are these 3 metallurgists here, are being given a lot of money, and then they give that money to the people that produce the copper and the tin, and so the money is the financing sort of spreads through the production line there, meaning that the whole production line has become much more efficient. So I previously had three foundries working on tin, and I was still not consuming as much tin ore as I was importing. But then, once this money appeared, these guys increased their efficiency massively because they could afford to purchase more tin. And so now, with only 2 tin foundries, I am burning through my tin ore pretty quickly. And burning, in a very literal sense, as you can see, our charcoal production has skyrocketed, or charcoal consumption rather, has skyrocketed. So I'm building some more charcoal clamps here. And that has resulted in my wood consumption increasing massively. And that's an issue because I actually don't have the ability to produce much more wood. If only I had some sort of wood producing colony, like a place for cutting wood, perhaps a wood cut. Any case, I'll need to do something about that. Although I heard that apple trees count as wood. This is not true. Although I just unlocked with bronze working this level 3 woodcutter, and he has a pretty big range. But I can't afford that right now because I don't have the shovels and axes required. Also, I got the next level fisher pig. Oh yes, the fishers, that's right. Woodcut, my colony, broke the treaty to import fish because he needed them to feed his population. And that wasn't a big problem for me because I can build level 3 fisheries. Why is this one producing no fish? And I can build level 3 fisheries if I get shovels. Why is that one not producing fish? Wait a minute, why are the fish on the land? What happened? Oh yeah! That's right, these fish out here need to be fished as well. Oh, but they're so far away, even level 3 fishermen can't reach them. I have to build platforms out to those fish. But what's the issue here? What's the story here? Were you guys not producing fish? You're producing fish. You're not producing fish. Why is that? If I turn it off, what? Yeah, it's the same. So these guys weren't producing fish. Maybe one of the updates to the game somehow changed how fish work or something. Whatever, fine. I'll just deconstruct the building and reconstruct it later. I have to upgrade it no matter what. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, I did have a small population crash because of the lack of fish, the import stuff, but that's okay. Why am I having a population crash now? Fish production is still 14.4. That's what it was earlier. What's causing my population to go down now? Piglets variation. Why? I'm not sure what the issue here is. But regardless, I'll look into it later, I guess. These guys are making hammers. Good, they should be. I'm in need of more tool makers now because of my production of bronze. And I'm making lots of shovels and axes, and so I should be able to build many things soon. Most importantly, I will build, of course, the things which have been restricting me up to this point. Scribes and tax collectors. I definitely need both of these things. I need lots of them. Unfortunately, they're very expensive. And I need lots of shovels. But that's okay. I need to build lots of them, and I will. I'll need to import lots of wood. I'm not sure how I'll do that, but I'll find a way. But mostly things are going pretty well here in Solburg, other than this very strange population reduction, which has just suddenly started in the past few minutes. Don't know what that would be. Food production hasn't changed at all. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, is there anything else I wanted to mention? Bronze working, merchants, sawmill, strong gates. Yes, I can upgrade my merchants to level 3, just skipping level 2 entirely. However, I need planks for that, and to get planks, I need a sawmill, which requires axes and consumes wood. So my wood thing will be a problem. Oh yes, I can also produce rugs as well from wool. Anyway, this whole bronze working thing is amazing. It unlocks many more industries. We will be very busy very soon. In the meantime, though, I have to wait for the stuff to be produced, which will take a while. And I also need to be careful with my money because my income is very low due to the amount of money I'm spending on purchasing these shovels and axes. So I'll be back once more things have been produced. So much is happening, I don't know where to begin. So I have built many things since I last recorded, which actually was only a few hours ago. And things have been changing very rapidly for me. For example, I built some scribes. Now they are producing the scribe resource, which is here. And that has no maximum, and it increases my local administration. And local administration then directly reduces waste. Local administration is minus 13%. And so if I could just make that go up to 0%, that would be ideal. But that'll require quite a long time. I also have been exporting a lot of sheep to Zilbakam because I want Zilbakam to become a colony. I don't want to have to keep paying for it. It's supplying me with fish and wood and silver. I don't really need the silver now. It was a source of income, but now I have the taxation and stuff, so I don't need silver. And the fish are nice. However, I now have level 3 fishers, and I can get fish in my other cities, and I can export those then to Solburg. So I don't need to worry so much about fish. And wood, however, is a huge problem. I am devouring wood. 11 per cycle, because I have this sawmill. I also have more charcoal kilns, because we are also burning through charcoal, as I described in the last video. And I also need to build more kilns anyway, more foundries, I mean, to make more bronze. And it's all very expensive, resource intensive. I'm also building a tax collector in order to, well, improve tax collection. That's pretty straightforward. Anyway, I'm also building another dock because I noticed in my import screen, I can see trade routes from Pharos and Altros, which are not my cities. Those are the cities of my vassal. Apparently, he's using the cargo capacity of my docks, which is fine, but that is then occupying space that I want to use, so I need to build more docks. And for some reason, those are listed on the import screen. I don't really know why, but they are. And I'm not sure where on this screen I can see how much money I make from it. Operator tax, 0%. Can I increase that? May I also tax a percentage of the value of all goods chosen? Yes, I want to do that. The trade route operator is this guy. So I can close the trade route whenever I want because I own the docks. I don't know where I can set my rates though for cargo. I want to charge my vassal to use my cargo capacity, but I don't know how. Oh, before I forget, I want to upgrade this too. That will help a lot. Oh yeah, does it self-construct? It does self-construct, good. That means I don't have to build builders in my other cities. Anyway, we are importing, exporting. I also need to upgrade these merchants because just having all these little merchants is too inefficient. I could just have one that would improve things massively, but I just need shovels and axes for that. So many shovels, so many axes. It is a big change now. The numbers are becoming quite large, but I need more time. Also, I had to expand my stockpiles even more because I just have too much crap. I have so much junk. Unfortunately, maybe this area can't fit stockpiles very well, or I organize them poorly, but I have some unused area here in my stockpiles now. This annoys me. Oh wait, I can put a stockpile there. So I'll do that before I forget. Oh yes, that's something else I wanted to mention. Oh no, I can't. Ah, never mind. I wanted to mention that I can now build these large houses. And I will. I will no longer build house 2s. I'll build large house 2s. As opposed to large house 1, which required leather. And large house 2s require mud bricks and shovels and planks and stone. But they are so much better. Plus 12 health, 17 life quality. They're fantastic, but very expensive. So I just need resources, so many resources. I need wood, and I need stone, and I need stuff and things. I also need to increase my population now that I don't need to worry about waste as much anymore. I can increase food production and food distribution, which will require more people to work more farms, and it's all very complicated. Anyway, I wanted to show you something else as well, my other cities, but I can't remember what it was. Perhaps if I go to the world map, I can show it to you. Oh yeah, there's Altros, my vassal. That's his copper mine. He's not really doing much there. Oh, I don't remember what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I want to produce enough sheep in Zilbakam that Zilbakam can have a butchery going. And that'll require quite a few days, I think. I will combine the sheep produced by Zilbakam and Solburg to be able to have Zilbakam be independent. And then I will just let Zilbakam go because I need to do other things now. For example, I might want to make a farming colony down here in these oceanic tiles, or another copper mine on this mountain, depending on whether bronze becomes all that important. Also, I will need more state power for that, and making it a colony will free more state power so that I can make another settlement, and also getting another vassal will improve my state power. Also, this guy should be a margrave. He has 3 settlements. That definitely counts for me as margrave. Let's see. Congratulations, you're not a margrave, you're a burgrave. No, wait. You're not a burgrave, you're a margrave. That's it. Yes. Right. So, margrave. Congratulation. You now have 15% tax. Ha ha! But he can recruit new members to the nation now, and that's it, I think. What else is it? Something with succession. Can expel his subordinates. Yes, that's right. Okay, anyway, he's paying me 11 state power, giving me 17 coins and taxes, and hopefully with more people in the nation, that'll increase quite a lot. This whole area could be filled with players if only players would join the game. Anyway, for the next few hours, I'll be burning through wood. I can import some of the stockpiled wood I have in my other cities, but I will eventually need to find a solution to this problem. And I don't know what it would be. Perhaps one of these forest tiles over here would help. Anyway, I'll be back probably in a few hours once some more shovels have been produced. Woo! Woo! Look at those numbers! Yes! So I built this tax collector and increased my income massively. That's fantastic. So I just need to build some more tax collectors and build some more scribes, and things will go very well. Also, my population is finally increasing again. I didn't really know what the problem was, but anyway, yes, great, good stuff. I finally be able to staff these elders' councils again too, and my consumption of clay has actually increased so much that I will need to export more clay from Claydig. I finally need Claydig for something. I can forget about this justice, though. It's not all that important at the moment. I'll need it later, but for right now, it's okay. Anyway, nothing else has happened. Only about 30 minutes have passed since my last recording. I just wanted to show the numbers there. Very exciting. Oh yes, I also built some more docks. So now my vassal can use my... Yes, there we go, Pharos. Pharos, Eltros, Pharos. Now he can use my docks for his own transportation. And I still don't know how I can get money from that, but I'll figure it out somehow. Greetings again. I have done quite a bit of building. As you can see, I've upgraded these merchants and I've improved wheat distribution, but I throttled it. I throttled it again so that I could have a larger stockpile of wheat because I decided to build another farm. I want to use the rest of this farmland now because I don't need to keep my population low anymore. I can use this land. And this is also the last bit of land too. Once this is gone, I'll need to find some other way of feeding my people. But that's a problem I'll deal with later. At the moment, I have built some of those higher level houses, which is pretty cool, but in retrospect, I should not have done that because I'm not producing 5 shovels per cycle anymore, only 1.2. And I also am not buying them anymore because I need money. I have a pretty high income, but I just keep spending so much money on construction. I built so many things, and building things is cool, but it's expensive. In any case, I have 94% tax collection. All of my scribes are working as well, so that waste has finally been reduced here to just 25. And I think that's acceptable. I could reduce it more, but I don't need to worry about that right now. I can deal with that later. I also want to increase my population enough. Why can I not speak? I want to increase my population enough so that I can staff these elders' councils as well. Because that's actually a resource, game, that I want. Justice here. Justice reduces conflict, and a part of the problem of my population growth is that my piglets are being murdered. And, well, just people in general are being murdered. And so if I lower conflict, that'll stop happening. In any case, I also want to increase health, and I want to increase community, and so much stuff that needs to be done. But right now I need to focus on accumulating resources for 2 reasons. One, oh yes, before I tell you that, I also am producing these carpets. I didn't actually know what resources were required to make carpets. Apparently it requires both wool and textiles. That's a bit much, but okay. Also, they don't produce very many rugs either. Still though, interesting. That'll really lower my textile production though. Well, I can just turn off this cloth maker then anyway. Besides, if the cloth makers are working at full capacity, each of these cloth makers will be using more cloth, so I don't need that many cloth makers anyway. Which then frees a little bit of cloth for the carpet makers, although that also means that these weavers need more wool. Whatever, that's nothing to worry about right now. What I wanted to tell you was the 2 reasons why I need to stockpile my resources. Actually, there are 3 reasons. Once we go to loading screen. The first is pretty simple. I promised my vassal that I would pay him in order to cover some expenses that he gave me, and I just forgot. And I spent all of my money on research and construction and resource distribution, and then he sent me a message saying, "Oh hey, you're online. Could you send me that money now?" And I said, "Hey, yeah, about that. I forgot." So I need to accumulate money for that. That shouldn't be a problem though, because I'm getting plus 150 to plus 200. It's a little variable per cycle. So just wait 5 or 6 cycles, and I'll have gobs of money. So I'll be able to cover that, no problem. But the other 2 much more important reasons are that I want to set up another copper mine here. This tile has copper and coal and fish. The coal is not useful at the moment. It won't be useful until much later in the game, if ever. But the copper is very useful. That's another probably plus 2 to plus 4 copper, which would be fantastic, because then I could feed the bronze cycle, I guess, the bronze production of my capital, because I only am producing plus 1.4 copper, and that's not enough. Not enough at all, compared to my plus 1.610, which could be much higher, actually. But anyway, I want to build another copper mine here, but to do that, I need more state power. And to get more state power, this guy's gotta go. Zilbakam, thank you for your help, but I will release you. I will make Zilbakam a colony, just like I did with Woodcut, and I will make another vassal up here, and I don't really care what he does. It's a pretty nice place, actually, to have a capital. These hills and mountains have all the mineral resources that another player would need, and then these 2 tiles here are farmland, so it's a fine place to have a capital, I think. But anyway, at the moment, I am setting up Zilbakam with all of the resources it will need to be a capital. So I have given it sheep. It has a very small sheep farm. I'm also building its infrastructure as well with mud production, which normally you'd only do in your capital city, but it's going to be somebody else's capital city, so I'm trying to think ahead. But the most important thing is that I want to build a farm here so that I can take potatoes from Tongrube to Zilbakam, so I can set up a potato farm in Zilbakam, so that Zilbakam can have fish, meat, and potatoes as a source of food. And the meat is coming from hunting and slaughtering sheep, which means that it also will produce leather and wool. And so that'll be useful for my vassal, because I don't want to create a vassal who then won't have any resources and will have to just ask me to keep giving him stuff to establish his civilization. And what I really don't want is for Zilbakam to be inherited by somebody who sees that the resources are no good and just abandons the game immediately. And I think that's what happened with the first guy that got woodcut. I think he just became disinterested in woodcut and left immediately. So I'll make Zilbacom much more attractive. It also has silver, that's exciting. So I will return in about 7 cycles-ish, more or less, probably less than that, maybe 5 cycles, when I have enough money to pay my vassal and make Zilbacom independent, and then I will create a then I will learn to speak English, and then I will create a settling party to go take the other copper mine. So I'll be back in about, I guess, 6 to 8 hours-ish, approximately. Time is past. Things are happen. I spent all my money again. I had about 200 coins, and I sent them all to my vassal. I said I would send him 300, but I sent him 200 because I needed money. And I then did a lot more building, and I also have some more technologies being researched, and I have some more available. Stone cutting is incredibly important. I definitely need that soon, but it requires 8 shovels, and shovels are really expensive. So I can't quite afford that. That'll be very expensive technology, and water reservoirs will also be expensive, even though it doesn't give anything by itself. It requires a lot of shovels, though. Anyway, right now I will release Zilbacom, and 2, well, not right now, wait to get enough money in order to settle the other copper tile. So I'm recording now in order to show you Zilbacom as we leave it. I established a potato farm. Zilbacom has sheep. It, of course, has the titular, I think those 2 words mean the same thing, silver. Also, it has some wood production, some flint, as well as 3 sources of fish, and these are level 3 fisheries. These things are expensive, and they are each giving 4.5 fish, so that is a total of 13.5 fish. And I also reduced exports to 6.5 so that they can have a full 7 fish on their merchant, which will then give them far more than enough fish so that their population will increase quite a lot. I also have them selling potatoes as well, although it's barely feeding them. It's something. And eventually, a future... I better leave this open, actually, in case this place is abandoned for a long time. A future owner of this tile could expand the sheep farms and do even more. Also, it has a mud pit over here and 2 sources of hunting, rabbits there and rabbits there. It has no clay, though. Oh, I just realized that. Okay, the last thing I do before I go then is I will deposit some clay here. This tile, however, this area is a really good fortress. If you look at the strategic mode here by pressing T, wow, this mode is really laggy. You can see these red lines denote impassable areas, and there's an impassable area all around this except for this 2 tile entrance right there, which is right here. That's the only entrance. So this would be a fantastic place to put a fortress. So this is already an excellent tile. And I will then release it after I give him some clay. He will need clay for things. I say him, of course, it's not, there's no one there right now, but there will be, hopefully, someday. I'll pick up some clay from Tongrube. Don't know why I couldn't say that. Tongrube, and there you are. And I'll give him, I don't know, 40? I guess that's enough. Well, I should probably be careful about spending money because I need to save it. I need to wait 2 cycles in order to have enough money to, 3 cycles even, have enough money to settle this tile, which is 3 hours, 5.5 hours or so. So I'll be waiting a while before I can do any more settling. But when I do, it will be great. Because once I get more copper, I'll be able to combine that with the copper from Kupferhügel and the tin from Zinnfeld in order to produce a lot of bronze. And I hope once I get stone cutting that I'll be able to build a market, because a market requires stone blocks, which are made by a stone cutter, and once I've built a market, I will then be able to sell goods, establish trade routes not only with my own cities, but also with the cities of my vassals. So that'll make the economic interlinking much, much better. It'll also make Solburg the economic center of the empire, and because trade routes are so expensive to establish, I hope that my vassals will all just use Solburg's trading potential instead of developing their own, making them all reliant on me. Which is great because then they pay me to use the cargo capacity, and also, most importantly, they will stay loyal because they don't want to harm me, because if they harm me, then the cargo is interrupted, then all of their settlements will collapse. Anyway, there we go. That clay is delivered. Now, he has very few hit points, or not hit points, action points remaining, but that's enough. Because settlements only require 1 action point each. You can just zip right through here. Which means also I can visit Pharos very easily because I can 1 action point to Woodcut and 1 action point to Ultros, and then only, I think this is 8 action points. Anyway, he's finally out of danger. I want to make sure he takes the correct path and doesn't go to this tile. Yes, good. Okay, so now we will check if we started recording. I did, because I'm the best. And I'll click on this button. And now I think I will bid farewell to Zilbakam. You served me well, but I don't need you anymore. Colony apply. All right. There we go. That's Zilbakam. It's now on its own. It still counts as one of my regions, even though it's technically not. Anyway, it will remain there until somebody inherits it. And it will only be inherited once more players join, although I can do a little bit of advertising on the Discord server, and perhaps I can attract somebody. Anyway, I'll be back once I start settling Kupferhügel, which will be in about 5-ish hours, approximately. Stuff! Things! I know this video is almost an hour long. I should probably stop recording and start editing the video, but I just don't care because things have happened. Did I start recording? I did. I not only am ready to settle my next city, but huzzah! Zilbakam is now owned by another vassal. I have Fallen Horizon as my Burgrave of Wessex. Excellent. I'm very happy because he's giving me his state power, and he's also paying me some taxes, and I'm also getting taxes from this guy. Very good. Anyway, that means that I have 36 state power. Wait a minute. Oh, I have less state power now. I had more earlier. Debt. Ah, yes, that's right. Anyway, I will make another settlement. And this one will be, I don't know, Kupferberg, I guess, because it has a lot more. Okay, Kupferberg. Great. Now, I will disband the sows there as well. And I will transport resources and build stuff. Come on, go. Also, in my capital, I just unlocked kilns, as well as sledge, which is nothing by itself. And kilns allow me to make charcoal, they only make charcoal, but also coke, which means I can now start using coal, which I am mining now. And the kiln right now is just producing charcoal. That one kiln, though, is producing 9 charcoal just by itself. That's as much as 3 charcoal clamps, I think. So it's pretty good. Anyway, I need to do some building now. I'll be back. And here it is, Kupferberg. The titular eponymous copper is here, quite a lot more than my other settlement. And so that will be enough to make my bronze production much higher. I just need to wait 30 minutes for all this stuff to be built. Although I didn't actually bring enough workers for all of these buildings, but oh well, whatever. Doesn't matter. I also am making a fishery here, a level 3 fishery. That'll produce enough fish for everybody, and I can just have this one fishery, have one market stall, feed everybody, and I don't have to do any imports or exports with food. Super easy. And other than that, this tile is pretty much useless. There is a little bit of coal here, but I have so much coal elsewhere that I don't need to worry about that. There's also a very small amount of wood scattered about the mountain and also over here in the east. But we don't much care about that. Anyway, I suppose that's the end of my settlement for now. No, actually, I will transport some materials to my vassal, and he will do stuff with it, so I'll record that too. And here it is, Zilbakam. Not even, 7 hours after I made it a colony, it is inherited. And I just delivered lots of junk to him so he could start making houses and things. So I'm sure he'll be happy about that. What has he done, though, since I last looked here? He appears to be making javelins. I'm not sure why he's doing that, but whatever. It's his colony, he can do what he wants. And probably making hoes there as well. I wonder if he'll ever stop mining silver. Currently that benefits him not at all. I'm taking all of his silver, but maybe he just doesn't know that yet. Anyway, that's all for now. I suppose I need to break the video now because I've recorded far too much. Anyway, I think that hour of stuff is quite good. Of course, now I have to edit all of that. That'll be annoying. Oh well, anyway, I will see you next time.